designated access to the pool site. First, like he said, first thing they do, they unload everything close to the pool. So they have access to their materials. They're lucky they're able to park here close to the pool, but sometimes they're parked all the way on the street. So then it's even more important to get all your equipment and materials right up to the pool first. So when you get started, you don't have to make trips back and forth.
And before that, we check the depth of the drain to make sure it's the right.
They check the elevation of the drain to make sure it's at the right elevation. And this pool here shows it to be 6 foot 6 inches deep. So what do you look for? 6'9". You add 3 inches to the elevation from the form setting here, which the form is at a -3, so it's 6'9", or actually 7 foot from finish, but it's only 6'9" from the form here. Next thing he's going to do is mark his trench down the middle where he's going to go, and then he'll mark off his runs to each inlet and to each to all the various pipes, such as the skimmer and the waterfall and the Polaris line. He's measured his steps out here. He's got here's the end of the sun bench, 1, 2, 3rd step, and he's measured those, and then he's located his inlet on the wall there.
The higher pipe is the Polaris.
This is the Polaris, okay? And the Polaris is how far down from your normal?
Inches below.
How many?
13.
13 inches below the top of your normal form of excavation. Now, on this one, we have a raised wall, so you want to make sure you're not measuring from the top of the raised wall. Measure from the existing form that's our normal form elevation. Next thing, he checks the plan for the light locations, and he marks his lights. And what elevation you set your lights at, Rudy?
Top of the niche should be 15 inches.
15 inches down the top of the niche.
So we set the conduit 20 inches. We set it.
Okay. A light in the shallow end, and also he's marked a light down here in the deep end. So he's going to mark his skimmers, so he knows it, and make sure that his pipe is located behind the skimmer. We put the pipe 28 inches from the back form.
Yeah, they put the steel 31 or 32 inches off the form. Yes. So we want to be behind it.
Inside the steel on this. So he'll mark 3 foot in from the form, and that's where he'll bring his skyline up. That's the step, and he's going to bring his pipe up inside the step there. He wants his main drain to line up with the step to where everything is parallel. Okay. So where's the center of that actually located, Rudy?
Well, this is going to be the drain.
Yes. So you're how far from this line here?
It's 40 inches.
40 inches?
Of that one.
Yes.
So to get the center on this side, just go 40.
40 both. 40 to get your square.
That way.
And then he can finish out his spa.
Yes. So what we do is glue these pieces right here, put them together, and then he's gonna drill a hole here. Well, it's already
there's a hole there. He just opens it up, and that's on the main drain side, and that's your overflow. So what he knows is his single has the fill line located on it, and the double has the overflow shown on it. Build that out. And the line itself is pre-made up in the office, right?
Yes, sir. The warehouse.
In the warehouse, yeah. But then he tapes it and screws it into the
skimmer.
Into the skimmer. And this is so they can pressure test to make sure everything holds pressure. You may want to finish this. You can. There you go. See, that's how they pressure test it. And one of them has a gauge on it. This one here. Only one of them needs to have the gauge.
This one goes on the pre-filter skimmer.
The one with the gauge goes in the pre-filter.
Yes, sir.
For the main drain.
And the main drain goes here, and then I add the 3/4 inch line.
Yes.
And that's how we pressure the main drain.
Pressure the main drain. So what he knows is his single has the fill line located on it, and the double has the overflow shown on it. Build that out. He kind of groups, everything's kind of grouped there together, so he's just become where the plumbing comes in from the wall, and that's what kind of dictates your path down to the main conduits, and your fill line are right here. Mm-hmm. This one here is your fill line, and the 4 gray ones are your conduits, or 5 gray ones, excuse me. Now, how come so many conduits?
So many conduits. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 lights.
5 lights.
And 1 is for the ozone.
One for the ozone.
Yes, sir.
They come from here to over there. The white one's your fill line,
yes, sir.
And then your 4 of them are for the lights, and 1 of them's for the ozone.
No, 1 to get power for the
one
lights.
get the power to the light. Conduits and all the rest of the pipes, and the ground wires already run over here to it also.
Okay.
Checking his steel to make sure he's checking the form to make sure the steel will locate where it's supposed to, 31 inches out, and it is, so he'll just run his plumbing right next. What he's doing first, he puts his primer on there, and the primer softens the pipe and allows the glue to penetrate it better. He softens this end and also the bell end on the other end. Then he adds his glue. And then turns it. A little turn to make sure you get it important. Okay? What he's saying is he basically looks at how his equipment's going to sit over there against the wall like this. So he brings it over here, and he says it's going to come out like this over here. So this is the order he's going to do his pipes. And figuring out where he needs to cut his pipe, he cuts it right there at the bottom. Is that right, Rudy? Yes, sir. Matches up exactly, I think. Yep. Next, he's got to put his 90 on there, and he's in business on that. All the equipment's inside plumbing 1, so we'll open it up and get our equipment out. 8841, so he's going to look at the equipment set that says 8841 on it. That one right there. On the outside of the box, this one here is propane. You can see it's labeled propane. You got to make sure that your heaters match up with whether you're propane or natural gas. The one in here, the next job they're going to do is a natural gas unit. Okay. So he basically needs to be 28 inches out.
28 to the pipe.
To the pipe. And then he's going to come up how high?
We cut the pipe 40 and a half down.
So when he was there, he was like this. As he comes over here, he's like this now. So now he's going to plumb it. And the first thing he sets is his heater, and he notices there's a window here, but this is a fixed window. We have to be 4 foot away from any open window. So as the window open here can be open, but we're over 4 foot away from that for exhaust from the heater. So that's a safety. And These unions you just hand tighten on here, right, Raul?
Yes, sir.
I mean, Rudy, excuse me.
And then we need to leave out 18 inches on this side for the electrical rack.
We need 18 inches over here for the electrical rack, so there's room to set the rack itself. So basically pull to the front of the slab. We're 18 inches off for the electrical rack, and then we just kind of space out the waterfall pump, the pool pump, filter, chlorinator, little Polaris booster pump, and the heater.
12 to 10 inches
Yes.
of pipe in front of it.
Yes. Yeah. What that length of pipe in front of there does, it cleans the water up, so when it goes to the pump, it doesn't cavitate.
Okay.
And cavitate, you start hearing noise, so that the pumps run a lot quieter, and it's actually better for the pumps.
Oh.
So, now, everything above the ground, we use a clear primer and a clear glue because it just makes a cleaner installation. But everything below ground, we always use the purple primer and the blue glue because it's so critical to make sure you've got a real good seal on everything that's below ground. Checks its level.
And I try to leave like 6 to 8 inches.
8 inches off the wall.
I can go and do this one, and same thing with that one.
Yes.
Like same distance.
Same distance, yeah.
This one level. I'm gonna put it underneath to hold it level.
Hold it up.
Yeah. But I use it as a guide first. Dry for a little bit, and then I put this one underneath. That way,
Just to hold it up.
yeah. Hold the level right there.
Perfect.
I don't glue it here.
Yes.
Because you don't want glue
In there. Perfect.
here.
Yes.
Same thing with the top ones.
Because you can glue it and it'll stay glued, won't it?
This one and that one.
He tries to line all the valves up in a straight line. Skimmer is 26 inches out.
It should be 28.
Supposed to be what now?
It should be 28. Right there.
¿A lo corto?
Right there.
28?
Yes, 28.
28 inches. Okay. Make sure we get that right. We're checking that, and then that helps line up the main drain. Twisting it just a bit because he wants to make sure it lines up right.
¿Estoy?
I'm out. Yeah, we go off the form.
Off the form to make sure that you're right.
Go with the ready.
Yep. When we're gluing onto the skimmer itself, the top part of the body, it's ABS, so we have to use a different glue. That's why you see the green glue on these fittings up here. And this one here is your overflow that gunite will come back and hook up. And the other one's just an equalizer line. At the bottom's the equalizer line. The top one's just to help stabilize the skimmer so they stay in alignment. He drives this number 3 bar in, so you can tie the skimmer to it so the skimmer will stay exactly where they want it. There you go.
Ah, ¿qué? ¿La luz está?
Sí. Vamos a correr por dentro, ¿no? Yo creo.
Ahí estás.
Dale.
Locked in. Putting in the other pressure stack for the main drain line itself. The reason we're doing that is so we don't have to put all the water inside the main drains anymore. Okay, it's gonna be for the ozone, goes in, then they'll put another pipe out the bottom, which he's getting ready to hook up now. And then it'll appear like a seventh inlet in the pool, but it's actually our ozone feed line. Pouring water on that pipe to cool off the heated pipe.
It's gonna be raised 18 inches. So we cut this one 15 3/4 to leave it 3/9.
15 3/4.
Because it's 3/6 plus 3, 3/9.
¿Para qué es eso?
Good question.
You don't need that.
What is this?
That's
for?
a hydrostatic
We use it only for the pool to take the water
if it's
out.
just a pool only.
Yeah.
So like down there, you got a hydrostatic in that one,
Yeah.
but this one here it doesn't need it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, your ozone tube is going to be fed through this one, conduit here into here. Then we'll have a junction box up here. It'll go up and then back down into here, and eventually it'll bubble up through the that bubble plate down there in the bottom. So, and then the water comes up from that inlet that we talked about earlier, back up through. Okay. And then the conduit, if it comes from the bottom, it's at 20. This one here happens to come from the side though. But the main thing is to get the top of the light with the form 15 inches below the form. 27, okay. If there was a bench here, we would have finished the light, the top of the light 27 inches below the form. But there's no bench here, so we have the light fairly shallow because the lights actually work better in the shallow in the top of the pool than they do in the bottom because they broadcast over the entire pool that way. Then when they finish pressure testing, they're going to cover the pipes with this tar paper just to keep it from the concrete from bonding to it.
That's the front of the niche.
Yes.
So we go back 4 inches,
4 inches.
which is 4 foot.
4 foot
Right there.
is where the conduit for the light comes up, and then the light will actually stick out another 4 inches into the pool, into the spot past that. Lights come up here,
Okay.
and then this one here is the feed from the equipment over to here, and they blow on this one here to find out if it comes out over there. If it comes out over there, then everything's fine, okay? But this is the one pipe they don't want to be feeding the lights through. These other four, you can feed them through in any order. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. He tapes the fittings going in and out of the Polaris pump with 6 wraps of Teflon tape.
And I used to put 2 wraps.
2 wraps now. They're just lubing it up so when they pull it over here, it helps them pull it through the conduit. There you go, he got it now. Ready to connect the, or at least run the fill line over to the skimmer. We don't actually hook up the fill line or the overflow line at this stage because we're afraid that it might get broken during steel or when they start gunite. So the gunite crew actually hooks up the fill line and the overflow when it's all said and done. All right? What he's doing now is going to hook it up and pressure it up. What do y'all pressure to? 20?
25. Hold it
25. Make sure it holds at 25. We want to hook the heater to the filter first, and after that connection's made, your heater, your filter set. So then you hook your pump to your filter after the 2.5 inch suction to reduce it down to 2 inch. Come back out of the top with 2 inch. And go back to the pool. It's got 2 valves on it for flooded suction. The next you have your main pool pump. On the far side is your main drain, your 2.5 inch main drain line. On this side here you have your 2 skimmer lines, and on the back side you have your other main drain line, your 2 inch. It goes into your pump with a 2.5 inch pipe, comes out of there with a 2 inch, wraps around the back, and then drops down into the lower port on this on the valve, filter valve here. Goes through the filter, comes back out through a check valve, drops down into your heater, comes out of your heater, goes to a motorized valve which will send the water to either the chlorinator or the spa or the pool, and then you have an additional valve here on the end for flooded suction. 15 pounds right now. We're running about 15 pounds right now. We haven't got it up to 25, but it's moving in that direction. The other ones are actually open still, and once the water starts coming out of them, they'll close those valves, and this will easily get up to the 25. And I don't see a problem with leakage anywhere, but anyway, that's why we pump them up to 25.